right, we are live, I believe. Not sure if this is working, but okay, yeah, it's working. That's great. So this is the creation of my next short film, Monster Dad. Last you saw me working on this, I believe I was working maybe on the second edit of it. Well, a lot has happened since then. I have completed the second edit of the film. I like it a lot. I think it's gonna work. So I sent that edit to my brother, Jordan. He is going to be making music under his band called the Fractal Impulse. You can check him out on Spotify if you like kind of like lo-fi retro wave with a little bit of hip-hop infusion, then you'll probably really dig what he's got going on. That said, he's going to be doing the score for Monster Dad, so it was important that I got a good cut of the short to send to him. So we got that. That's done. What I've done since then is I've made the poster, which you can see over here, and yeah, what I've got next to do, I think, is go through the entire edit of the short and make some quick color sketches, just figuring out what the lighting, and the just the color scheme for the short and the various sequences is going to end up looking like. So I think I can at least I can finish the poster tonight and probably get into some of those color keys, so I'm a bit excited for that. But yeah, let's get into it. What I have next in mind for this poster, as you can see, I'm clearly ripping off of the original Godzilla poster from, I don't know, back in the 50s, 60s? What do you think? Katie's to my left, my wife Katie. She is editing a video for our next season of Hungry Creature Productions. She's learning how to edit. She's going to have her own show that she cuts together. And yeah, 2021, that'll be coming out, so that's exciting. But if you hear a voice to my left asking questions or whatever, if I duck out, that's why. That said, yeah. So I'm going for something like this. All I've got left to do, I think, is I want to get some of that nice washy nature in the background in here. Granted, this is a much gentler short than Godzilla is, but it's kind of set in that Toho meets American fictional world that I've created for this short. So, less frenetic, less violent in terms of the poster, but I still want to get some of that fun brush quality to it. So let's see. I've got this brush I'm using. I'm not really happy with it, so I'm gonna modify it a little bit. Right now, I've got the shape kind of petering off if I don't press too hard with my Wacom pen. So I'm gonna change that. So yeah, so it's a little more like that. That said, I'm not in love with the edge of this brush, so I might double it up with another texture and try and maybe a dual brush. That's it. I'm gonna use a dual brush to try and break that up a little bit, maybe get some of that nice streakiness that we saw in the poster. The reason I'm talking like Brutal Moose is because I just watched way too much Brutal Moose while I was working today. So if you were wondering, that's why. And I'm kind of liking that. Yeah, that looks nice. I just realized I was doing that. Like, what am I doing?
I didn't even hear.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, sorry. No, you're good.
I did hear a little Brutal Moose. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was like, why am I talking like Brutal Moose? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get this. In the original poster, it looks like. I mean, it's just kind of streaky abstractness. I probably shouldn't overthink it or call too much attention to it in the final poster. So I'm just gonna try and give it less of a digital feel and more of like a little bit of a smoosh to it, which is the technical term. Is that smooshy enough? That might be maybe schmooshy enough. I can form sentences, incomplete ones.
Schmooshy.
Schmooshy. Are you feeling schmooshy? I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, so in the background here, yeah, so he's got this like white glow and there's like heat coming off him almost. Our character doesn't do that so much, but I do love this textural brightness going on. So I'm gonna steal some of that and maybe we'll have it just kind of coming in the back. Oops, am I painting on the wrong layer? Oh no, it's just my layer's in the wrong spot. We want this behind the monster. Well, yes, there we go. Lovely. So yeah, maybe just to separate him a little bit. Maybe I'll make it like our light streaks, like streaks of light. Like he's not making them. It's just necessarily. Just to kind of separate him a little bit from the green of the background. So since I'm in Canada, we just recently had our Thanksgiving, which was on Monday. Canadian Thanksgiving is Monday. And oh my goodness, I think I made too much food. We're pretty much just surviving on leftovers and pie, which, you know, worse things could happen. All the food was really good. This was the first time Katie and I kind of really buckled down and made a big Thanksgiving feast, and it honestly really exceeded my expectations. It was super fun. We put a bunch of old Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades on the TV while we worked. Just Chromecast. Let's see. We watched the 1980 parade, the 1991 parade, and I think the 2000 parade. The video said it was 2000, but they mentioned the year 2001 within it, so the jury is out as to what we actually watched. But they didn't mention the Twin Towers, and I feel like if it was 2001, that would have been a bit of a topic. So my money's still on 2000, but who knows? Could be anything. Okay, kind of liking that. Katie, what do you think of this?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I don't know how I feel about it right now. I'm trying to get this like kind of chaos going on.
Yeah, I like how it blends with the green and then into the yellow. I don't like how it looks behind Dad.
Right here, specifically?
Behind the man.
Oh. Like back here?
Yeah. More like I like.
Like, should it be hotter? Like, should it just be the pure white?
Yeah, maybe.
Like this.
Because I really like the section where it fades from one color to the other to the other.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So up by Dad and Monster, the words I really like, but.
Mm-hmm. So maybe like break it up more with some harsher.
Yeah.
I don't know, like that, kind of.
Bring a little more of the fade back in on the left side.
Over here.
Yeah, and a little bit on the bottom too.
Well, I kind of really love this, but maybe around here a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just really like these hard shapes right there.
Oh, okay.
I think it helps like frame it a bit.
Uh-huh.
And I don't like this right here. Oh, well, spilled some paint there. Do you guys ever experience this where you're painting in Photoshop and then it'll just kind of occasionally spill paint? Like, oops. That happens to me not frequently. It used to happen to me a lot, and I think maybe it's a memory issue. I don't know, but it's frustrating. I've been using Photoshop since Photoshop 7, and it has been a persistent issue since then, regardless of my hardware setup. Yeah, that's all right. That's good for now. That's good enough for now. Actually, no, maybe I hate it. I don't know. I kind of really like the graphic simplicity of this. So what I might do is just, well, that's opposite of what I wanted. So I created a mask, and I'm just kind of fading a bit of this. There we go. So this is what the mask looks like. Just made a gradient mask so we can keep the top bit of this. And then I'll just paint with some black to get rid of this vestigial stuff. I'm honestly, I don't know if the white stuff's going to work for this poster, because I kind of really think this looks nice. But I do like the smooshiness from the yellow to the green, so maybe I'll do the same thing down here. Maybe that's what it needs. And that's the thing when it comes to making literally anything. You, or I shouldn't say you, I don't know how you work, but I always end up having to just kind of muddle my way through and figure it out. I think a lot of people, when they're making stuff, I imagine auteurs have this very distinctive vision, like they can see it clear as day as if it's finished. I don't really have that. I have kind of the essence of the project in my head, so what it would feel like. I have the feeling of watching it completed within me, and I don't know how to express that, and so I just kind of chip away at the project until I can reach something somewhat close. And honestly, I don't know if that's right, I don't know if that's wrong, but that's my process so far. It kind of grows and mutates before your very eyes, and it doesn't always end up how I imagined, but at the same time, it ends up transcending my imagination. It becomes something that perhaps I could not have anticipated, which is also exciting. It's exciting to see what that's going to be. Yeah, I want to break it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I like that better. Hey, Katie. I'm sorry. I really felt like I didn't like the white.
Okay.
So I just kept the top bit and did a little bit of smooshiness here.
Uh-huh.
And I think that, because I really like how he stands out here, but I almost also really like this hard line. So I don't know. Which do you like better? This, or I'll just disable this. Because honestly, I feel like it's better
messy.
it's better without the white.
Yeah. I do feel like it still needs a little something, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
And yeah, that bottom, I like the concept, but now it looks like that little blurb is floating, and I liked it before because it was like sitting on the surface.
Yeah, I do kind of like how clean it is down there. I'm okay with it being washy up here because it's largely covered by the stuff. So for now, I'm just going to leave it like this and move on to something else.
Oh, can you go back to Godzilla again?
Yes. Bloop. I mean, there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if there could be like a tiny little, like a white glow around Dad that isn't completely, it's like pretty close to the whole character, like a little bit.
I mean,
If that would
maybe.
work.
I don't know. Let's see.
This is just guesses, because like it feels like it needs a little bit of something, but I'm not sure what it would be
Yeah.
helpful to add.
Well, I think it's tricky for me. Actually, let me get that back so I can pick the color from it. It's tricky for me because I don't want it to be as busy as the original, simply because this is it's like a poster that's going to be in front of a theater,
Yeah.
so you'll be able to take that in. But my little short is never going to get that kind of exposure, and people are probably just going to be seeing it in thumbnails and stuff. So something that's nice and readable and graphic, that is reminiscent of, I don't know, something like that. I don't know if I like that either.
Yeah. Well, what was the smaller one? I honestly almost like the small one.
This one, I don't like this.
Oh.
This looks like a filter. But if I did something like this, and then I just backed it off a bit,
Yeah.
is that better?
Yeah, maybe.
Something subtle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's nice. Yeah, I think that's nice.
Cool.
One thing I want to do is I'm just gonna jump into the text and clean that up a little bit, because I just did that with a lasso a while ago. I'm not going to make it cleaner. I'm just going to like clean up little
Oh, I kind of
messy.
like that.
Well,
The
like
messiness.
no,
Yeah.
it's still going to be messy. The lines are still going to be messy, but it's going to have more detail.
Clean messy.
Clean messy. Yeah, it's going to be a messy clean. Okay, so that's that. So one thing I should do that I didn't is label my layers. I'm just going to clean up this a little bit, and then I'm going to call it quits on this and move on to the color, excuse me, the color keys. Gotta love those hiccups. And I think some of these lines are just a little too perfect. I want to just kind of bang them up a little bit, just so they don't look so machined. I also want to follow the perspective a little better here. Get that going. It seems like for a very brief time, Godzilla was kind of having a revival, an American revival. And I don't know, because I think that was supposed to culminate in Godzilla vs. King Kong, directed by, I think, Adam Wingard, the guy who I have mixed feelings on. Definitely talented, but I still have mixed feelings. I love his film You're Next, and I really enjoyed The Guest. But as someone who really enjoys Death Note, you can see where I'm going with this. And then from what I heard about his attempted Blair Witch reboot, I don't know. Like, I'm conflicted. Is he the right person to do a big old monster movie? Who knows? Glad they're giving him a shot. He's definitely an interesting director with an interesting catalog. Definitely not who would have immediately sprung to mind, but honestly, I'm kind of glad they're giving him a shot. And I like, back to the Death Note thing, I have to say my Death Note standards are very low. They're very low. I adore the live action Japanese Death Note movies. All three. Oh, sorry, all four. I forgot about the fourth one. It's somewhat recent. The fourth one's not great. The third one I kind of really like, and the first but I don't think it's like a great movie. And the first and the second I do think are pretty, very 2000s, but still a lot of fun. Yeah, this is good enough for now. I'm gonna save this. Sorry about hitting the mic there. I bet that was fun to listen to. So I'm gonna save that there. Do. Okay, so what's next? One thing that I did not mention that I did do was I went through my edit and created a shot list. Now, a shot list is really important when you're working on any project, simply because you really need to keep track of where every shot you're working on is, like what the status of it is, what you need to do next, all that stuff. And this just helps you keep organized. Oh, that's the beat sheet. There we go. Okay. So because of this, this is going to make it a bit easier for me to go through and do color key type stuff. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 17 shots. So not the most expansive short, but at the same time, like a couple of those shots are really long. So I just want to make kind of a grid. We'll just do, let's see, 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. Just a big old grid of all the shots, and then I can work on the most basic of lighting and color without getting bogged down in the details. Because if you're like me, as soon as you get the opportunity to paint something, you're going to shoot right to the details, and I don't feel as though that's going to be helpful at this stage. I think getting a cohesive and unified visual style is going to be much more beneficial to me in the long run than if I get really, my instinct is to jump in and I'm going to start working on the first shot, which that's not going to help. That's not going to help us. We need the bigger picture before we can work on the smaller picture. But my experience is as a professional matte painter working on feature films, so it makes sense that my instinct would be to immediately, all right, I'm going to work on a shot because that's my professional experience. So I got to take a step back. And try and remember what my file system is. There we go. Okay, production, shots. So a lot of shots ended up getting cut or combined, so these folders may not be completely accurate, which is why I have my handy dandy shot list to help me navigate. So our shot 1 is BFR1. And let me also open up the edit just to make sure I'm not crazy. It's always good to know that you're not crazy. Okay, so BFR1 is just this. If you remember, I was putting some stuff together in Nuke, and so that's why we've got these weird perspective shifts. I just needed something to get across the essence of what the shot was going to be like. So we'll take the first frame and the last frame of those. Bip. Yep. Burp. Yep. Okay. So put those in a folder. Call that BFR1. Okay. Next will be BFR2.
I'm sorry.
Got a sneeze coming?
Nope, it's gone.
Goodness gracious. Okay, BFR2 is pretty straightforward.
I just heard fart too.
Yes, FAR2.
Fart too.
Fart2D2. It's that robot everyone loves. Yeah, we'll just grab one of these here storyboards. For our purposes, that will do. Gotta be more mindful than I was on the poster when it comes to labeling all this stuff, just so I don't get lost. As I juggle a full-time job and working on this stuff, it's very easy for me to quickly become lost when I have to step away from working on this all the time. I also am writing a screenplay and kind of occasionally editing another one. So my time is not always completely focused on one project at a time. It's in blocks. And so if I don't very carefully lay this out, kind of like the guy in Memento, tattooing stuff onto his chest, I will literally have no idea what I did when I come back to it. So that's it. Just Treat yourself like someone who has amnesia and is trying to solve their wife's murder. That's my art advice for the day. Anyway. Okay, so that's BFR 3. Next is MOS 1. It's a big old transition shot. Do. Now I feel like I thought for sure I had a. This is edit 1. Oh man, what'd I do? Okay. Yeah, I was like, this is the wrong edit. Yeah, here we go. I know. What am I thinking? Not very much. Yeah, that's more like what it should look like. Now he's on set. Da, 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 da. The story has a framing device. So that's the BFR sequence before, and the MOS sequence, monster. Get it? Oh, aren't I clever? No, Josh, you're not. Stop talking. Oh, yes. Okay, fine. Sorry about that. Good point. No worries, guys. Just having a discussion with my supervisor on this show. It's me. Ah! And to be completely fair, when I'm working on something, I am quiet, I am listening to music occasionally, but I do frequently talk to myself. So this is probably a heightened version of reality, what you are witnessing right now. Although to be fair, is anyone really witnessing this? I think this is just kind of going out into the void, and maybe I'll cut it together into a making of featurette for Monster Dad at some point in the future. Okay, next is MOS 3. We jump from 1 to 3 because that's how numbers work. Yes, so this one. So we'll probably do 2 different setups for this. I think we only need, we need one. We only need one. That's fine. So MOS 3. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put that in there. Boop. Okay. Doodly-doo. So over the extended weekend, we watched a movie called The Hidden Fortress, and I totally recommend checking it out. It's a black and white samurai film, kind of a samurai film, by Akira Kurosawa, and it is beautiful, it's funny, it's emotional, everything you want in a movie. It's one of the films I think that if you combined The Hidden Fortress with Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon, then you can kind of see exactly what George Lucas drew upon for his 1977 Star Wars film, and kind of taking basic character tropes and the very, very, very basic essence of the story. But he changed it enough to where it was definitely his own thing, so I'm not gonna point fingers there. That's the thing about Star Wars, is it's less of a, I don't know, it's less of a story and more of a pastiche. It's like a collage of other things. And I think that might be why it's so popular, is because if one thing about Star Wars didn't resonate with audiences in 1977, then another element would. It's a goulash of previously used characters and story ideas. And I think that was its strength initially, but it became its weakness later on as it attempted to transcend that. And in some ways it succeeded, and in other ways it massively failed. I'm sure everyone has a completely different opinion as to what those successes and failures are. You talk to every Star Wars fan, I'm sure they'd have a different ranking in terms of which ones they enjoyed and which ones they thought were not great. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And this is a baking show, so you know I know what I'm talking about. Oh yes, okay, so I think MOS 5 is that big old long shot. Is it though? Is it though? It is not. It is not that big old long shot. I have things in the wrong place. So where's MOS 7? What's in here? Oh, Josh. Unprofessional. Okay, so MOS 5 and MOS 7 are kind of the same thing. What do I do? I will just copy the entire nuke file and paste it there. Because they need to be separated. Like, they've got to be their own thing when I'm working on it. I get why I did that for the storyboards, because it's just kind of reuse of same camera setup, if you will, but that's not going to work once I start actually getting into the meat of production. So Okay, so back to 5. And we'll just gonna be making this face a lot, so we'll use this one. The reason I'm making these folders because I'm probably going to be painting on various layers. I want something to work within. Additionally, not every shot is just going to be static camera, so I want to make sure to bake in the possibility for multiple frames for key art. But, like for example, MOS 6, it's very similar to MOS 1. 3, 2, 1. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, MOS 4 and MOS 6, pretty much the same camera setup, so I don't need to, I don't think I need to paint key art for those, because it's already taken care of. This one, however, I will. MOS 7 is, once again, starts off as a reuse of MOS 5, but here's the crazy thing with this shot. We kind of pull back, and it turns into the family car going home, and she's still upset, and it pulled back even further, and they're eating dinner, they're at home, and she's still upset, and we pull into the television that they're watching while eating dinner, and it's a monster movie, thus exacerbating the problem. So that's going to be a couple different key paintings right there. Since we've already got this portion, we can probably just start for this shot on the in-car bit. So let's jump into the folder for that. Okay, so when choosing our frames, all right, here they are in the car. So we'll choose a nice even number, because I like working with even numbers. There's just something comforting about even numbers. Or multiples of 5. Which could be an even number. Just depends on what it is. I think. I don't know how math works. I went to art school. Don't talk to me. Yeah, but no, seriously. I use numbers all the time, and I actually really enjoy math. If it's math that I've made up, like I have an algorithm to figure out whether or not the YouTube video I'm working on is worth working on future versions of. As one does. Is it helpful? Yeah. Makes me sad, so it's doing something. And should I do the silhouetted version? Nah, because that's compositing. We'll let the compositors deal with that. That's me too. Yeah, then we'll jump into the TV for this one. Cool. Okay, so we've got our 3 different shots. I want to rearrange them in screen order. Boop, boop, boop. Fortunately, on these individual images, when I rendered them out, I also included the sequence name, the shot name, as well as the frame number on those images themselves. So that saves me having to type that in right now. Hooray! Setting things up the right way will always save you time in the long run. Even though it may take a little time up front, it's worth it. It's always worth it. Okay, so NGT1, these are both kind of going to be the same thing, so let's do the more extreme one where he's lying on his side, or maybe, let's do this one. Yeah, okay. You might wonder, why is he talking to himself so much? Well, because I'm darn good conversation, and it's none of your business. No, I don't know. I think typically these are the kinds of conversations I'd have inside my head, but I'm just kind of spilling them out my mouth for the benefit of anyone watching or anyone wondering perhaps what does working on a film, what are the challenges when making a short film that a singular artist would face, and hopefully by talking through it instead of just thinking through it as I would normally, I'm able to shed some light as to why I'm doing the things I'm doing instead of just doing them. That's my goal anyway. It probably just ends up being a lot of noise. Either way, hope it helps you sleep. Okay. This is when later that night, he's laying in bed, he can't sleep. He hears a noise, so he wakes up. This should be some nice dramatic nighttime lighting. Also, I have to design all of the rooms, because he's not just probably not going to be on a solid background. Since it is set in the early 60s, that'll involve some research, some digging into what does a mid-century modern bedroom look like? What would is it going to fit the color scheme that I want it to? Stuff like that. GT3, okay. So he's looking around, looking down the hallway, seeing where that noise is coming from. Okay. 4 seems to progress pretty chronologically from here. Okay. He's peeking through a cracked door. And what he sees is heartwarming. Brings him joy. So he's all happy. And a little teary as well. I'll look at him. And GT5. Okay, so what he sees is his daughter has set up her own little city using books and boxes and tissues and various toys. And she is the monster now. She's overcome her fears by play acting, which a lot of kids do. Seeing as how his whole, not just his career, but his passion, presumably, is being the man in the suit for these monster movies. This kind of brings him joy, particularly after she was so frightened after seeing him in the suit earlier in the day. Okay. Now to return to our framing device. We've got the parents and the daughter. The daughter's all grown up now, and the parents are quite old. They're watching a movie she worked on, which is a modern monster movie. So what's interesting is the whole film is in 2D, but this part, just what's on the screen, is going to be CG. It's going to be 3D. that's AFT1 and AFT2. We just kind of focus in on him watching his daughter's work on the big screen, kind of a closing of the circle moment where they've gone different paths, but they both share a love for the same thing after all these years still. I think that's darn cute. And then the credits are going to be movie posters. And I think it's just going to be up on the screen, and we're going to have, maybe we'll have like the silhouettes of the three characters walk past while they're up on the screen, and they don't really change. But I don't know. I don't know yet. That depends on how everything else goes, really. Okay. I also need to ask my music composer / mixer / audio guru what he wants to be credited as. He has a couple different things he's been credited as in the past, and that is people like to get the right credit, so that's important. Whenever you're working with anyone, make sure you know how to spell their name, make sure you know what they want to be credited by, because all this stuff ends up on IMDb and you want it to all funnel to the same profile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so 16. What if we do 4 across? 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 4 across. If we do 4 across, then we can do 4 up and down, which is a square. So I think that will work. Okay. So if I scale them all together and kind of block out what 4 would be. So like maybe 1, 2, 3. Nope. So this is too big. I could figure it out with the rulers and math. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that. Wow. Math. I know. Okay, so this is 20 whatevers. Is it 20? It is 20. It's 20 whatevers up and 20 whatevers. 19 whatevers? Shouldn't this be 3000 by 3000 pixels? No, it's 20 whatevers. Okay. 20 divided by 4, maybe? So it can be 5 whatevers across. I say whatevers because I forget what metric I used. Maybe it was inches. Probably was inches. So that should be correct. So if oh, but I have multiple frames in a shot. I forgot about that. Well, we'll see how this goes. It might have been some bad math, you know. Might have been a complete waste of time, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe I did the right thing. I said maybe. Oh, and my math was off. Okay, why though? Shouldn't 20 divided by 4 be correct? Unless it's 19. Should be 5 across, yeah? What if it's 19? Maybe I don't know how numbers work. 4.75, okay. We'll try this. We'll try 4.5. How about that? Did that not work? It did work. I just scaled the wrong thing. Make sure all my layers are selected this time. Then I will. So at home, I use a different version of Photoshop than I do at the office, which makes it confusing because I think that the newer versions of Photoshop have different hotkeys than the older ones do, and I'm still using an older one at home, which, yeah, that does create some confusion. I automatically want to punch in one set of hotkeys, which do absolutely nothing on the older version. Then, of course, I will learn from my mistakes, correct it, and then the next day at work, I'll do it the old way and just mess it up again. It's a circle, but you know, Adobe. What do you gotta do? Okay. But since some of these are reuses, we're also not using all the shots, so it may end up being somewhat even. Yeah, because any shot that was kind of a reuse, I didn't grab just because this is for color and lighting, so why would I need to do that twice? So what about you? Do you make short films? Do you make short animated films? What's your process? Are there things that I'm doing that you have solutions for that are more effective? Let me know. I need to learn. Clearly, I am not an expert in every arena that's involved in making a short film. There's always so much to learn, particularly with filmmaking, because it's people specialize in singular areas in the pipeline, and there are so many different areas that it can be easy when you're trying to make something by yourself to get completely overwhelmed, because there's just a lot of information there. There are lifetimes worth of specialties to learn. So yeah, if you have any solutions to what I'm doing that I'm not seeing at the moment, fire away in les comments. Just be nice, you know. I'm a person. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing my best, just like you. All right, we've got our happy little grid. I'm going to save this. Let's see, production, and we'll put this in key art. Yes. And this will be our contact sheet. Yes. Cool. Okay. All right. So, color schemes. Let's look up some color schemes. So here's the thing. I want to start with something. I'll probably modify it, but popular color schemes. I don't know how to spell. Schemes, 1960s. Well, look at that. 1960s decorating style swatch. Don't mind if I do. Yes. Okay, so why is that taking so long to load? Just open that up. Yeah, cool. That looks nice. I like it. All right, cool. So we have a palette. Let's copy that, and we'll paste it in here. Okay. Color palette. Is that how you spell palette? Let's say colors. Oop. Colors with an R, even better. And then from here, we'll attempt to make some good choices when it comes to the combination of them. So we've got the palette here. We've got there's this color scheme maker I used to use in college. I wonder if it still works, where you could plug in a color and it would give you like the triad or the tetrad or whatever you're looking for. Coolers, maybe that's it. No, this is not it. No, I want the one I remember. Where's the one I remember? Oh, it's this one. Yeah, still here. Look at that. So how do I? Thank you. Hey, Mary Poppins is a goal. Base RGB. Is that what this is? That seems not right. I wish it was a color picker, like you could say, hey man, look at this. Use this as a starting point. Like, I love that it does this. I just want, yeah, triads are nice. I like triads. I just want to be able to pinpoint one to exactly one of these. Oh, and you know how I could do it? You know how I could do it? Okay, so in Photoshop, I'll open up this little info box, and I'll just color pick the one I want to use, the one I want to start with. So we're starting off in the present, so I'm not going to use the 60s colors for the present. Where do we first go into the past? We first go into the past in the movie studio. So the movie studio, I'm thinking like this rich orange is a nice, good place to start. Oh. What? Okay, so that's the color number. If I copy that and paste that here, hit OK. Okay, well that's disgusting. What if it were, no, what if it were, that's a little better. I guess a tetrad is better. Okay, new plan, not doing that. I'm just gonna work off these colors. Okay, so first thing I wanna do, is above each shot, I wanna make little dots as to the colors I wanna use. For modern day, at the end of the movie, they're in a movie theater, and so there's gonna be like black and red, because the red curtain, the red cushions on the seats, the black, probably plastic, the edges of the seats, and I want it to feel like the same time, feel somewhat symmetrical. So in the beginning, even though she's at the studio after everyone's left, I still want to incorporate that black and red feel. So I think the dividers are going to have red fabric, just like that. The fabric that you can put push pins into, you know, those kind of dividers. And maybe the metal will be black. Okay, so I'm going to work off this red, this retro red, and I'm going to modernize it by tarting it up, because that's just how you modernize a color. Wow, look at that, how modern. This color is so modern, I could scream. Maybe I will. No, I won't. Okay, so for this, for these two shots, we're gonna have, okay, here's the thing, because painting, oh yeah, lol, that's fun. So if I take all of these, for example, in this first shot, with the end frame and the beginning frame, if I take these layers and set them to multiply, and then I put the layer that I'm painting on below them, when I paint my color, it's going to be underneath the lines. So that's a helpful tool, I think. Now, this is color. So I'm just going to block in color, and I'll do a lighting pass after this. So this is all going to be essentially all going to be this red. Now this is going to be the poster, so I'm not worrying about that right now. That's going to be the main poster that you've probably seen on the thumbnail of this video. But I should drop it in here just to make sure the colors play nice with everything else going on, because the poster is going to be a bit of that retro-ish feel, as you've seen. And I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the company logo. Is it going to be the logo? Is it just going to be maybe just words on the wall saying Hungry Creature Productions presents, just hanging on a sign, a bit simpler? I'm going to opt for, actually I think I might do that, because I don't want to distract from the title of the film, which will be over here on the right. So I'll probably end up doing that. However, what color that sign will be, I'll determine that in un segundo. So if I've got my reds, I've got this rich red all over everything. I already know that in this scene, she's the only one at work. She has stayed late. As if you work in the film industry, I'm sure you can relate to. So I don't necessarily want to use perfect black. Oh, this is a different shot. I should be working underneath it. So I don't necessarily want to use that kind of... Sorry, I'm not finishing my sentences because I'm trying to do things while talking. So I don't want to use black because it'll be too much. It'll be too dark. So maybe like a very dark gray. And I can even add just the tiniest hint of green into that gray. Because if we have all this red back here, throwing in a complementary is a easy way to make stuff look good. That's why Christmas looks good. That's why Michael Bay movies, they're all blue and orange. It's complementary colors. It's an easy peasy way to make it look like you know what you're doing when you really don't. And that's kind of my whole thing. So, I probably shouldn't be too detail oriented here. I'm just going to splotch this in. Bippity boppity. Yeah. And then at the end, we come full circle. These seats. Gonna have the... I'm purposefully not zooming in on anything because I don't want to end up actually working on a lot of detail. I just want to splotch this stuff in. I'll do more detailed paintings when I'm actually working on the shots. And it would be a trap if I jumped into that now. A most heinous trap indeed. And then, so this brick wall, I'll probably make that same black color that I'm using. So I think the borders of these poster signs should be that red color. I think that might be nice. Maybe I'll put little lights in them too, because it's the outside of a movie house. You remember movie houses back in the before times, before coronavirus, before the great Second American Civil War. Ah, the before times, when you could go to the theater with your family and watch Angry Birds 2. So yeah, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's well. Do you have a family? If you don't, you should get one. They're really cheap on eBay. Don't get them from Amazon, though. You don't want to support Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos. Ugh. Ugh. At this point, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just saying stuff. So how can we... Yeah. How can we get red into this? Okay, maybe the monster. I'm going to throw some red on this monster, and it's going to look bad. He's going to look like, you know, Clifford the Big Red Knife. But we'll add some variance and detail from there. I just want to remember that this... Because I can't really put it on the mountain, I can't really put it on the buildings, and it's all going to be silhouette here. But I want this color. And it's a good color to use for a monster. Red monsters are nice. It's like a danger color. It's extreme and scary. And isn't that what the kids are into these days? Or at least in the 60s. Maybe? Nah, they weren't. Nobody was. Okay. So we got this, we got that. Doodly-doo. Doodly-doo. Don't know why I say that, but I do. Okay. Cool. Let me open up that poster. Hello. It's the poster. Hello, poster. Alright, so I'm just gonna Toss that on there. Wow, so pretty. Yeah. Cool. But that color is modified by this guy. So I'll just put that on top there. Copy that. Put it over there. Yep. Cut off the bottom. Pop. Cool. Okay. Good. Let's get that next color. So the next color is that black color. So we'll start off with a black. We don't want a pure black just because, you know what? I don't know why, but I get in trouble in the film industry when I use pure blacks and whites. So I'm just gonna say nah. So we'll make this a bit of a gray, a dark gray with a little green thrown in. Let's see how that reads. Looks like black, honestly. It just looks like black. What if we make it a little lighter? Sure, yeah, that's better, I've decided. Cool. So, well, not only will this be the bars, I mean, the background is also going to be pretty not lit. So, how do I differentiate this from the background? Okay, here's how. So this is the background. The background is this dark color. I think we can have a much lighter gray as the metal and the signs for the Hungry Creature Productions component. Yes. So the back wall is going to be this dark color. Not necessarily because the wall is black back there, but I'm not doing lighting yet, but when I do, you'll see it's going to be so dark. Other than her cubicle, which is the only part that's lit up, that we won't even really notice so much. Now in here, I can use this dark color to help things pop. So for example, the computer monitor can be this dark green gray. Yeah. As can the mouse. Squeak, squeak. Squirtuff. And this tablet, although we'll have the main drawing portion of the tablet be a lighter color. And even these little thumbtacks can be nice accents. Okay, and then back to the movie theater. We've kind of already done that with the chairs. I want to make sure we get. I want to make sure. Yeah, here we go. See, this is the difference between the black and the green. It's pretty evident when you're painting over black. Just how much lighter and full of color it is. Background here is going to be this dark color. You get the idea. I probably don't need to color this whole thing in. But I'm gonna. So here's a fun question. If you work on your computer all day, how do you keep your posture from turning you into half human, half pretzel? Because I feel like by the time I'm old, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be hunched over in half. I have a problem with, if I'm interested in what I'm working on, I'll just kind of lean forward. And that takes my upper spine with it. Ugh. Part of it is probably because I've been using this chair for so many years that the bottom was once a cushion. It's essentially a board you can knock on with your fist at this point. That probably doesn't help. It's not really an ergonomically designed chair. Although, I don't know, I had ergonomically designed chairs at the office back when working in person was a thing that people did. And I'm pretty sure I still had terrible posture there too. Maybe it's a me thing. Maybe I can just like... You know in Spider-Man 2 when Doc Ock puts on that spine thing and it's got all the needles sticking out and then they go in? It's kind of a gross, horrifying moment, but I've always been a bit envious because I know that if I did that, like, I'd finally have a straight spine. I mean, you know, what more do you want? And I'm gonna dip a little bit into this 1960s color palette and steal this blue. No, I'm not. I'm gonna steal this blue. Yeah, this will be my accent because it's nice. It's like metallic-y. It's light, but never fear. We are... Oh, no. Okay. I do stupid things sometimes. Okay. I can fix this. I was painting on the wrong layer, which is something that happens frequently. Select inverse. There we go. Fixed it. Crisis averted. For now. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's nice. I think that's a good offset. So this blue is going to be the metal color. Although perhaps I will desaturate it a bit more because that red is so vibrant, and I think if there's too much saturation to this blue, it's going to take away from that because I want this to be a bit more neutral. Yeah, I think that's better. Is it though? No, I don't like it. I'm gonna steal this mustard and I'm gonna make it metallic. Yeah. Yes, that's better. That's much better. So saith me. And, hopefully I'm right. So it's gonna have all the metal bracings on top of these lovely cubicles. Like, if you've ever worked in an office, maybe yours haven't been this colorful. I think this like tan color is probably the color of the fabric on a lot of the ones I've seen in person, but this is animation. We can make things beautiful if we want to. Or at least, prettier than they are in person. Okay. For the table, let's just use that same mustard color, but we'll also desaturate it and darken it, so it's like it's a bit gross. Alright, what about red? We'll take that red and make it more of like that. What about that? Is that nice? It's really dark, is what it is. It's really dark. Let's make this like a really dark wood color. Yeah, sure. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't use that. I didn't use that tan color in the post flashback, so I'm gonna jump back into that after I finish this dark wood-ish color. Yeah, and fortunately, you can see the difference here between the black, almost black, off black, and the that dark wood red color. You know, that might actually just work for the seats as well. I think it does. I think that works much better for the seats than that tan would have. This is all subject to change too. I might end up changing any of these. It's just a matter of seeing it all together and feeling out what that's gonna do when you see it in person. And one thing I want to do is make sure that the girl, the main character, the protagonist, she wears the same colors through the entirety of the film. So I'm not sure what that's going to be yet, but it's got to be something she would have worn as a kid. I think one of these blues seems like a fun color. Maybe this yellow. This yellow is nice. That's going to go with multiple things. I'm going to use this yellow. Yes, this is her color now. This is the color she wears. Oh, let me fix that mouse. There we go. All right. And here she is. A little version of her. Give her that same yellow shirt. It's not the same shirt, mind you. I want to make that very clear. She does not wear the same shirt for the entirety of the movie. If anyone comes away from this movie, that's the one thing I want them to come away with. And I'll make her pajama pants this color, just so we don't lose it. Because I don't think she'd be wearing that same thing in bed. It's too much. It's too much of a stretch. Okay. Let's make just a lighter gray for the keyboard and the mat here. And a little diffuser. We can just make that an off-white. You know, we'll actually sample that mustard. Take it up to an off-white. And we'll use this color for the smoke, but I want to brighten it a little because that looks a little sickly. You know what? Let's not. Let's use the blue. Brighten that up a little. Yeah, there we go. So the little diffuser smoke is this blue color. And we can also use that in the sky for the CG movie. And this poster over here, yeah, draws the eye around. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, so down here, bring that back. Okay. And you know, that can be the color of her pajama shirt. Just to subtly squeak that back in there. And this red can be the color of all the little, like her hat. Yeah. And her socks. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Just blotch some skin tones in real quick. And when it comes to things like hair and lips, I really don't know what the color would be, so I'm gonna just find some photo reference for that and just color pick from there. Seems like the best option if you don't know how to find it. And just for consistency's sake, sometimes it's good to find one actor who's got the skin tone you're looking for, so that way you can see them under multiple, just by Googling them, you can see them under different lighting conditions just to see what their skin does. Or hair, different styles. And if you're lucky, maybe you can even find pictures of them as a kid, although that's probably a bit more difficult and probably a little creepier. But I don't know what level paparazzi you're at, and I don't want to judge. Oh, that's me laughing. Ha ha. So jovial. Ain't I? Oh, I'm doing the slouchy thing again. You can tell that I'm invested.
What in the world?
What's up?
I'm just trying to highlight all of this, and it's really hard.
Do you need a hand?
Mm.
I might have some tricks.
Wait. Yeah, there's this one. They're so tiny you can't see them. Well, here, let me just do pieces then, I guess. It's fine. You're good.
Okay.
Trying to get a really rough cut to show you because I don't remember how to do any of the sound and like image skewing of any kind.
Yeah. Well, there is very little we can do with sound at this stage.
Yeah, but even like cutting it for the other one or whatever, there's some things that I don't remember, and
Okay.
I'm doing what I can until then.
Fair enough.
But either way, I like the idea of just giving you a bit of a rough thing to look at and then give your thoughts on.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm trying to use these colors so when you see them repeated in other scenes, it'll immediately make you think of the last time you saw it. Maybe, well, hopefully not in an obvious way. Hopefully not in an obvious way, but just to give that feeling or that sense. Stop being so precious about this. It's just rough slab of color. Just plop it on in there. I think I was gonna have like lava or something happening out of this mountain, but I am just now thinking that I'm gonna have more than enough cut out for me and I don't need to add that to it, so it's just a mountain city that's totally not Vancouver. Oh man, why am I doing this? See, I'm painting this to match this, but this is what she's working on at the beginning is going to be unrendered. It'll be like in the Maya viewport. So this is just gonna kind of be largely one color. So let me fix that. So I think we can take the color of the sky, which we've repeated in a couple different places there, and just make that more of a darker gray. Yeah, that's much more Maya. There we go. So that'll be closer to what the color's gonna be. There we go. That was I sinking. But we can sneak some of these colors in, like into Knick-Knack, into the poster back here, so that they feel right by the time we hit the end. And keep in mind, this green looks obvious. It makes it look very Christmassy, very complimentary, but the light source in this shot is coming from the screen, so this is largely going to be in shadow, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment, but if I need to make changes later, then I will. Okay. Coming right along. And I just wear jeans for everything, so she is going to wear jeans too. So it's my movie and I decided that. There we go. That's the reason. So does Dad. Mom is not going to though, because she is her own individual. She's also very, very fashion forward. Okay. So I think we're pretty good there. Next thing I should do is maybe focus on the dad. I think his colors are going to be tied to his monster outfit. Is it going to be the light green or the dark green? I want to go with the light green. I think that'll be fun. So he's always going to be wearing the light green color, even when he's not his monster self. His best monster self. Always be the best monster you can be. I believe it was Confucius who said that. Or maybe not. I might be Confucius. It's a bad joke, and I should feel bad, and I do. So everyone wins. How are things going over there, Katie? How are things going with you?
Good. The rough cut is almost done, I think.
Nice.
This one one whole section with you can hear one of the cats is running in the wheel again in the background. Thankfully, it's also stuff that like we didn't really need to say, so I'm just taking it out.
Sounds good.
It's just like, what is that noise? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it makes shooting difficult. We have 2 cats, as you're probably aware. We also have it's like a big hamster wheel, but like actually a wheel, not a ball, and they can run on it voluntarily, like a treadmill, round and round. And they do, shockingly enough, which makes shooting our videos kind of tricky sometimes because they just want to be exercising like they're Rocky or something, training for the big fight. And we're in the other room trying to shoot something and they're cranking away on this thing. But I guess it's better than them being lethargic. At least they're active and happy. So I can't complain too much. When he's silhouetted, we're just going to take that down a bit. Yeah. I think it'd be kind of neat for this monster scene here, that they're eating dinner and watching TV, but we kind of like zoom into the TV, pull back into the TV, and so it's like a little diorama inside the TV, as a show. But I think that's going to be black and white. I think that would be TV was black and white back then, largely. I think that would be kind of cool. And maybe like it'll all have different noise on it, like television static, like different rates of television static on it. Might be fun. We'll find out as we continue to work on it. I think clothing colors were probably a bit more muted, so I'm gonna go back to my palette and give him a more muted green. Yeah, that feels more like a shirt one may conceivably wear in the 60s. At least it's a bit closer to the color that I would imagine. And for his pajamas, we'll worry about that in a second. We got to give him his. Oh no, that's the color I used for the jeans. This will never do. What about the darker green? Yeah, that'll do. Twill do. I think the mom is gonna be blues. I think she looks like a bright person, like visually. So let's use this. Maybe I want to use it for the sky. Let's use this blue. This is a nice blue. The reason I changed the blue is because I think the sky, or at least the sky backdrop in this scene, is going to be this nice, bright color. It'll be a bit more of a gradient than what I'm doing here, but for now, this is what it is. Yeah, so I think this city is supposed to be San Francisco. Just because, the only reason I chose San Francisco is because, I mean, can you really call yourself a monster if you're not attacking San Francisco? Let's be honest. It's kind of required. I think when you're in monster school, that's one of the default cities they train you on. If memory serves. It's been a while since I was in monster school. I think the ground should just be really dark so that he stands out, and so the buildings stand out. Yeah, I think that's fun. Even though it doesn't like San Francisco's not black. Not black ground. But I think it really looks nice. So I'm gonna do it.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do I move something really far in, later into the video?
Like what? So for example, you
I
want
have
that.
this little section
Mhm.
that I would like to put way later.
Way back there.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing I would do is zoom in just enough to where you can grab it. So maybe here, and then drag over here. If you drag, find just the right spot, it'll do that. Or I wonder, can I do, no, I can't do that, that doesn't happen. So like here?
Oh yeah, put it there and then I'll find the right spot. Okay.
Yeah, so you just have to like click and drag, and then when your cursor's right, it's
Yeah,
actually,
it's hard.
yeah, I don't like it. I wish there was a way you could,
Well, there was a copy button. I couldn't figure out a paste button.
Control
Or
V
cut.
didn't work?
No, it asked me to do. Maybe I pressed the Windows button and I didn't notice.
Well, let's try it while it's, so first thing you should know is it will paste wherever this is.
Okay.
And it will paste wherever these blue indicators are. So
Okay.
go ahead and Control C will select it. And if you press Control V, yep, it'll show up right.
I was probably not touching something.
And that's probably a better solution, honestly, than dragging, which
Mhm.
I drag stuff, so.
Yeah, so if I cut and paste it, it was just,
Yeah, or copy paste just to be safe and then delete it.
yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Continue.
Yes. for this short, I don't think I want to do like a lot of gradiated lighting. I don't think it's going to be like a bunch of gradients and stuff because it's going to be 2D. So I think the light is going to be very stylized, very sharp, like shapes of light and shapes of shadow as opposed to naturalistic looking jazz.
Apparently, I'm still hungry. My tummy keeps going. Blah, 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 blah. I think one thing I'm overlooking here is that I believe cars back then had the front seat was like a bench, but I don't want that because I want to see her in the back seat. So I'll do some research for when I go into like the set dressing detail part of this to see what kind of car back then may have had like individual seats up front. Man, my right eye itches. It's probably cancer. What if that were true? That would be funny. I'm kidding. I'd kill you before your cancer got too bad.
Thank you.
For making this joke. That would be the reason, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. Good point. Not because I want it to be. I've got too much to do. Just to be clear.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Well, that's great. Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. Oh, jeez. No, this should be like... Yeah, this would all be dark. Very dark. This is film equipment. It's always dark just so... In case it accidentally shows up on camera, it's less of a... Hopefully less noticeable. Excusez-moi. I just love this burnt orange color. So I think they love it too. I think they've got it all over their house. So because I'm pulling from the same palette, I mean, evidently, the entirety of the film so far has got this cohesive look to it. I mean, this is all kind of obvious, but from there, if I need to, I can continue to play and iterate, but right off the bat, it gives me this stable foundation from which I can work. I think that's probably the biggest reason I would do it this way, just starting off with a basic set of colors. And so, like in her bedroom, when she's recreating it, her carpet is roughly the same color as the floor in the studio, and her walls are painted blue, and that color matches the backdrop that was in the studio as well.
Just cut out a whole question.
On purpose? Oh. Are you saving inversions?
No. I don't want to go back to the last version anyway. He's fine. He's fine.
It's alright. Yeah, so in the thumbnail, I think I said this was key art. I lied. This isn't key art. These are just some basic color studies to help me in the future. Help me when I do the key art. So the key art is essentially taking these and then adding details, right? Making it really really essentially just a base I can work off of for the final. So the key art is not going to be that different from what you see on the screen. So if this is the concept, the experimentation, then the key art is just, you know, it's the final shot, just missing its animation, just in its static form. And of course you have to go through every single shot and make it look like the key art, but you know, it's about as close as you can get, is the concept anyway. Okay. What do you think, Katie? This is not lighting, this is just color.
Yeah, those colors are great. What's the white? Is that just the
Oh, this?
end?
These are the credits. I just had a
Okay.
blank space.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, I really like it. It feels very of its time.
You know what arrow?
Well, I think the main part is supposed to be in the early 60s.
Okay.
So, actually, yeah, this section. And then this is modern, and this is modern. But,
I like it.
yeah. Now I'll do a little lighting, and then call it a night.
Mm-hmm. Before you call it a night, will you watch my thing?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So previously I mentioned cats walking on treadmills. That noise you heard was a cat walking on treadmill. Wait a second. Something like that. What was I doing? Oh yes, I wanted to add, I forgot about these frames. I wanted to add some color to them. Good job. Whichever cat that was. I think it was Winston. Was that you, Bubba? He's really bad at responding in English. Like, probably one of his biggest weaknesses, to be honest. Alright, so for lighting, I'm going to make a new layer over top of everything. I'm just going to... How am I going to do this? I think black and white. I'll make this a soft brush. Yes. This is all going to be dark, 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 dark. Oh, you know what I can do to make this easier? Select. Okay, so first, oops. So first I'll select each panel. Wow. Someone's running. Is that you, Winston? Is that you, Dana? Which kitty? Which kitty? Okay. And then I want them to have like little floods underneath, just kicking up a little illumination on there. Nice job. It was Winston. Good job, Bubba. Good boy. Oh, that was the sound of your head on the wall. Yeah, you love things a little too hard, don't you? Yes, you do. Good job. What an athlete. What an athlete you are. What a good boy. Nice job, Winston. Nice job. I'm so proud of you. That's our son. So I'm working in black and white when it comes to the lighting, because I'm gonna set this layer probably to overlay just to kind of see what happens. But I'm working in black and white because I want to simplify the process. Good job, Bubba. Good job, Mr. Winston. Oops. It's simpler just to work in white and black, I think, when it comes to lighting, for me anyway, than it is to really, good job, Winston. Good job. Yeah, you are extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. Okay. Okay, hold on. Come here. You want up? Come here.
Oh my god, that was a bad lift. That was a bad lift, my friend. Sorry about that. You just kind of squirmed at the last second. It was a bad lift. I'm so sorry. Hi, sweetie boy. Get that booger out of your eye. There you go. Okay. You want to sit on my lap while I work? Yeah? You gonna be a good boy? Yes. Okay.
It's my son. He's cool. I like him. Okay, so she's largely lit by the screen. And that means, of course, that this is all going to be quite dark back here. The screen is going to be what's doing the illuminating.
Oh.
You
Did you hit the
Bubba?
cardboard box on the way down?
He did.
Sorry, Bubs.
Like it was kind of funny, but also kind of sad.
I think that applies to most of the things he does. It's like, aw, you poor dear. That was totally your fault.
Man, it's like I had a whole section highlighted accidentally when I deleted something.
You can't find it anymore?
No, I'm redoing it. It's
Oh,
gone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm just.
nice guy. Okay, hold on. Hold on, friend. Hold on. So, in case you're wondering, Winston has come into the room and dropped his favorite toy on the floor, and he's going to meow over it until I decide to throw that for him. So, that's gonna... Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where'd you put it? Where'd you put it? There it is. There it is. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Yeah. Good boy. All right. Okay, hold on, sweet boy. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, okay. Yeah. Just so you know, he's not in pain. He makes a screaming noise when he runs after things. That's just our little Winston. That's my boy. That's my little son. And boy, does he love to scream. He loves to scream. Kind of his thing. Yeah? Okay. Good point. That's a good point. Okay, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Good boy. Here you go. Ready? He's a very active cat. Which is weird because he's kind of changed a lot. When he was younger, he was much more lethargic. So I'm glad he's kind of turned that around a lot. But at the same time, he keeps us hopping. Okay, 1 second, Bubba. Hold on. I gotta get some work done. I know. It's very hard to wait. It's very hard to wait.
You okay?
do like it, but I also want to bring some of those rich shadows back. As well as some of those highlights. Then a couple of these I think should be a bit less contrasty. So what I'm going to do is put all those into a group, make a mask, and so the ones that should be less contrasty would be the home dinner scene and the bedroom playtime far shot. I'm just gonna fill these masks with 50% gray, so that's gonna kind of, well, mostly 50% gray. Well, that's gone too far. Maybe a brighter gray. Okay, yeah. I think that's better. Cool. And this, I'm gonna change to luminosity. No, I'm not. That was a terrible idea. Oh no. Let's undo. Let's undo a couple times. Maybe that'll fix it. It won't. Oh dear. Okay, well. That was really stupid. Pass through. That's it. Pass through. Hooray. Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright. I am rather happy with this. I'm going to do a little tweaking now, here and there. I know, Dana. So, for example, these four, I'm going to just grade a little blue. Simply because she's working at night alone. And we want to get across that the main source of illumination is her computer monitor.
Don't mind my tummy.
Oh,
Ignore my tummy.
so it shall be. What? And I think these scenes should be warm because they're nice studio lights. So we're gonna give this a mask and give it a warming filter. Maybe orange. Is orange too much? Maybe yellow. It should be, ew, yellow's gross. Ew. Don't like yellow. Yeah, we'll do orange. Orange is good. Maybe we'll also pop that up a little bit. Yeah. Yes, I like that. Okay. For the car, darker with, I think, like, the highlights can have a bit more red in them just because you're driving at night, right? And the shadows give it a little blue. Maybe what happens if we pull that out of the highlights, it gives it that kind of halogen look. So and for these nighttime shots, we will give it that blue look again. This one should be more of a blue rather than a cyan. We'll also add a little bit of contrast. Just a little bit, just take down the midtones. I still think we can brighten this bedroom a little bit. What are you doing, Dana? She's like on 2 feet, being crazy.
You messing with the curtain rod again?
I think she was. Okay. I think we can generally just pump up the saturation a little bit. And then I feel pretty good about this. What do you think, Katie?
Lighting?
Yeah. It's all like very loose, but
Yeah. Sorry, my eyes have been mad at me because I think it's late.
it is late. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm done for the night. It's basically it.
I'm not sure.
About what?
I think because it's like 3D lighting on 2D stuff.
Well, because it's a quick painting.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean just as like the general concept for the lighting?
Yeah, I mean, it's still gonna have, like, the basic lighting will be like this, just not as brush strokey, but on them will be sharp, like, highlights and shadows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, then that's awesome.
Cool.
Sorry, I couldn't tell what you were asking me since I'm so mainly focused on what I'm doing over here. So
All good.
cool.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna save that out, and then I'm gonna stop streaming. So, if you've made it this far into the 2.5 hour me just working, yeah, well, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you at least enjoyed seeing how this little short is progressing. And any questions you may have, let me know in the comments. Have a good one. Stay safe.